So we are set to go. Thanks so much for tuning in, and throughout the day and the evening to come has a chance to be a very wild week here at the ACC tournament. We are underway as the Pitt Panthers win the opening tip. You see Miami in orange for just the second time in these uniforms in their history. And the first shot on the way. Odukali will misfire on that one, and Walker with the rebound. The big at 6'9" takes in 10 and 5 per game for Miami. But they are down to 6 scholarship players. They were setting up, I think, for an exceptional season, Corey, by any measure, and the bottom just fell out of it almost immediately because of more injuries than anybody, and that's going to be a traveling violation.
And due to that, Miami is the team that actually took over the reins from Notre Dame in least amount of fouls per game this season. When you look at the starting five for Miami, Cameron McGusty, who missed time, the only returning starter back into the mix for the U. But when you look at this group, the reason why they foul so little is because they can't afford to. You mentioned only 6 scholarship players available, as the second best offensive rebounding team in the ACC gets the second chance points early. Justin Champagnie on the glass to start the game.
Yep, coming in averaging 18 and 11, 13 double-doubles this season. And for a long time, as Walker lines up a long one and misses, it looked like Champagnie was going to be the guy to beat Champagnie for ACC Player of the Year. He wound up not winning that honor, but he was certainly in the running and right up at the top of the list all season long.
Yeah, he definitely was that, and he's had a very special year when you consider what he's been able to do all season long. However, his team hasn't had the success, and which is the reason why he probably didn't win the award. But his ability to not only score on the interior, but on the outside as well. As I mentioned that he shoots an air ball, but we're going to act like that didn't happen, Justin.
Right, naturally. On cue. That's the way it is. We jinx them all the time. Walker going cross court. McGusty on the drive. Will kick it back out for Wong, trying to penetrate inside. He's got a variety of shots and a tough rebound in heavy traffic, trying to spin around as Brooks, and he'll draw the foul. Nasir Brooks, the 7-footer from Philadelphia.
And Nasir Brooks coming off of a career-high performance on his senior day in Miami. 21 points for him. He was spectacular in the post for Coach Larrañaga. And Coach Larrañaga doesn't have a lot of substitution for Nasir Brooks. So Nasir Brooks has really developed as a player, but learning to stay on the floor and not getting into foul trouble. We get a look at the season recap for Miami, losing 10 of their last 12 games. Coach L talked to us about the fact that how excited he was to get that final win on senior day.
Had a couple of nice wins. They defeated Louisville with just 7 scholarship players available because McGusty couldn't play. Earl Timberlake could not play. And, of course, they've been going most of the season without Chris Likes, the dynamic guard who just completely lost the season. A traveling violation here on Champagnie. And, the Pitt Panthers have had all sorts of difficulties themselves. They were 8-2 at one point, beating Duke in January before a tailspin, losing 8 of their next 9. Several of those were very close losses. They did beat Miami in December by 6 points at Coral Gables, but lost their 2 top scorers within 24 hours of each other, entering the transfer portal, and Xavier Johnson and Adis Toney. And so the season became a train wreck for Coach Capel and Pitt.
Well, Pitt started out 4-1 in ACC play, and you mentioned that win over Duke, where Justin Champagnie went for 31 points and 14 rebounds. He was spectacular in that game. But the Panthers ended up losing the next game at Wake Forest, and that was part of what we talked with Coach Capel about early in the year. It was the ability for this team to handle prosperity and grow up, as we see a grown man move at the basket by Odukali on that one, and a nice play by him attacking the rim. And he's a guy that's really been able to help them in the absence of Toney and Xavier Johnson, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, Odukali, just a freshman out of Brooklyn, and could be a real factor. Champagnie went for the tip. Look back at Odukali.
And Femi Odukali with the left hand to finish over the top of a good defender, and Isaiah Wong with the pick and roll coverage. No one there to stop him from getting downhill. And Odekali growing up on the fly, recognizing he's got a lane to the rim.
Jeffers, the freshman who's been getting starts here because of the players who have departed, opening up some minutes for him. So getting a golden chance to play more minutes, and that'll be plucked away by McGusty. McGusty on the attack. He'll lay it in.
And you're seeing a senior in Cameron McGusty playing against the freshman who really would be a senior in high school right now, Will Jeffers, who's reclassed up, skipped his senior year to come and participate in this Pitt program, and he's really getting boosted his minutes as of late.
Coulibaly came over the top and tipped that one out of play. Miami by 1.
And this is a play where you see the senior McGusty doing a great job getting a hand in the passing lane, but more importantly, pushing the basketball away to where only he could recover it and take it down for 2 points to give Miami the quick lead.
Well, McGusty missing a bunch of time because of a hamstring injury that was discovered very early in the season, December 8th, and they were taking on the Purdue Boilermakers. He didn't return until January 2nd. He played 27 minutes against Clemson. Then he got one of those shots, that platelet-rich plasma injection, and that required him to miss another 10. So his season has been a total jumble, really. Champagnie, a little shove there, went for the misfire, and a second effort here for the Pitt Panthers. Savandi with a miss. And Miami coming in as the 13 seed. This is not a good shooting team. They're 42% overall, just 29% beyond the three-point line. Shot clock inside 10. Wong trying to penetrate. Somehow got it back. Here's Walker on the other side to lay it in.
And he's a guy, when you think about Anthony Walker, he's a guy that we really were expecting a lot bigger things from for Miami this year. And he's had those performances when you ask, why do you not do that all the time? But a spectacular athlete, a very good basketball player, just trying to have to find a way to become more consistent in this Miami uniform.
Savandi looking to operate, finds Champagnie on the wing. And he's off to a chilly start. Gets his own miss, but a whistle right there on the baseline. So Miami on top 7-4. When we come back, an ACC tournament history lesson.
Whoa. The Capital One Quicksilver card does not need a dog and pony show. It's simple. Unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with no annual fee. No need to jump through any crazy hoops. What's in your wallet?
Welcome to the Acura Let's Talk Sports Network.
See, and today is monumental.
That's right. On this network, we talk less, but say more.
Right. So back when I played,
Here, we get straight to the point.
So pretty much I just don't say anything.
This has been the Acura Let's Talk Update.
Well, you know, the current 15 teams in the ACC, only 9 have ever won the tournament. It started in 1954. Only 6 have won it over the past decade. You have to go back to the late 80s and 90s for the 3 others: Wake Forest, Georgia Tech, and NC State in 1987. Of the 6 looking at 2021 to become their first ACC tournament title, only Clemson is an original member. All of this has been memorized and spoken many times by Professor Alexander, but we really think that as far as the openness of the tournament, this might be the most open. Pitt, by the way, has missed 5 consecutive shots.
And Pitt off to a cold start. And Obi, one of the things that we need to mention, Justin Champagnie, as Horton knocks down to 3 for Pittsburgh to tie the game at 7. But Justin Champagnie in his first ACC tournament game a year ago went for 31 points. Now, he was not the focal point of the offense for Pittsburgh at that time. He was able to be more of a complimentary player with Xavier Johnson and the players that they had on the roster at the time. Now, as he catches the basketball, there are 10 defensive eyes on him. It looks like in this game he started to press a little bit, knowing about his performance a year ago, knowing that he's first team All-ACC, and wanting to make sure he validates that. Probably needs to settle down and allow the game to come to him again as Pitt now knocked down back-to-back threes.
Right, Sabandi following up the previous three-pointer, and suddenly Pitt has jumped out in front by 3 points. And the jumper there will miss badly by Walker. Comes in averaging 10 points, 5 rebounds a game. He'll swing for Champagnie. He's trying to get going, and that's going to rattle in. Nice touch there with the corner jumper.
Yeah, just like that, 3 straight possessions, 3 straight three-point field goals made by the Panthers. And Pitt is a much better first-half team than they are in the second half. They average 8 points more in the second half per game than they do in the first. So this type of start for Jeff Capel is an encouraging sign because he knows that they can make the adjustments necessary to help them in the second half.
Well, we'll see if Miami can start to get rolling as well. It's certainly not their forte hitting from three-point land, but have tied the game 10-10. I think few coaches in the country have had to deal with injuries to quite the level that Jim Larrañaga has this season.
So absolutely. You consider the guy knocking down a 3. Willie Harrington started his career in Miami as a walk-on. Received a scholarship midway through his sophomore season and now is playing 8 minutes a game for Coach Larrañaga and comes in and knocks down the first 3 of the game for the Kings.
That's going to be an offensive foul. That'll go against Terrell Brown. You're talking about Willie Harrington, who wears number 15 for Miami. It's a great story. He was named after his grandfather, Dr. Willie Harrington, who was not only a 5-term mayor of the city of Memphis, Tennessee, he was also a 5-time Gold Glove boxing champion. So it was said that Dr. Willie Harrington packed a punch at the ballot box without question. Tremendous heritage.
How long you been holding that one?
I've had that one since December, and he wasn't playing yet. I've had to hang on to that for a while, Corey. That one's been burning a hole in the pocket. Champagnie again. Now, if he starts to get rolling, but it hasn't happened yet, he goes tumbling out of bounds.
Oh, that's concern, Obi. And right there, you see the ledge on the court. And Champagnie, after shooting the 3, it looked as though he's waving the coaches off. He doesn't want to come out, but you can see him grimacing. Right now, Pittsburgh in control, and Champagnie will go get a little treatment.
So you have the ice cream with Oreos crushed, and you have Oreos in the cookie dough.
Tastes so cookie-y.
Cookie-y.
I don't think you can ever have too much cookie. Sonic Oreo Big Scoop Cookie Dough Blast and Sundae.
Cookie-y.
For 175 years, New York Life has been helping people act on their love.
Okay.
So they can look back and say, we did good.
ACC Network Basketball is brought to you by New York Life. Game number 1 between Pitt and Miami. New York Life helping people act on their love for 175 years.
We see Justin Champagnie now out of the game. seems to be okay, but scary moment for he and Pittsburgh on that last possession. After shooting the three, he missed a three and backpedaling back. You see, and where there's an edge to the court, he turns that right ankle, goes down. If officials seeing it, immediately stopping play. Fortunately for Champagnie, it doesn't look like it will force him to miss time in this game, taking his customary rest here in the first half, but scary moment for Pitt.
And they do not want him out for very long, that's for sure. And a pull-up pop. That is sweetly done for two from the corner. On target by Sibandi, the 6'4" senior, the transfer out of Miami of Ohio. He was a big scorer there, too. He scored over 1,400 points in his career before he even came to Pitt.
Yeah, Sibandi starting to pick up his action as well. Young man had 23 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals in a win over Wake Forest. And so he's playing his best basketball at the end of the year.
Thursday, we have 2 great lacrosse matchups for you right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Number 1 ranked North Carolina women squaring off against number 15 Virginia Tech at 5. And then it's number 2 ranked North Carolina, the men battling number 9 Virginia in Charlottesville. Miami trying to go strong inside. They got it to Brooks, and he gets hit on the play, the 7-footer. Who's also a very talented chef. I mean, he can really cook. Going back to his Philly days, somebody taught him how to use the stove. He knows what he's doing. On the basketball floor, 7.6 rebounds a game for the senior. Transfer from Cincinnati, who sat out last year. 5 brothers and 5 sisters, Corey. That means he did not see the inside of the bathroom until he was about 15.
Well, and also, I mean, you know, he learned how to cook because he had a couple people he had to take care of. But it must be a Philly thing. My boy Rasheed Wallace from Philly is a great chef as well. So maybe it's the 7-foot Philly thing.
And you know that firsthand with Wallace, right?
I do know this firsthand. I do know this firsthand. My guy sends me videos of his chefing experiences often. Have not been to the house to eat, though. I've been invited, just haven't been able to get there at this point.
I see. Well, that's got to be next up. And when you put it on TV, the invitation naturally should follow.
Oh, well, yeah, the invitation's been there. The invitation's been there, but, you know, I don't leave the house much during this pandemic.
Right. Well, not alone there. Walker, long distance, but a miss. Yeah, we can all lean on that right now, at least for a little while, until we all get vaccinated.
And early in this game, you see Pittsburgh once again on the offensive boards, gaining multiple possessions and giving themselves multiple chances to put points on the board against Miami defensively. And Miami, who struggles to rebound the basketball, that has been one of their Achilles heels over the season.
Sibandi, he's able to knock that one down. It looked like an impossible angle. It somehow went.
Definitely an impossible angle to go off glass. However, Sibandi will take it. When you're a scorer like that, you take any of them that go down. But Miami struggling on the offensive end, missing 6 of their last 7 field goal attempts, allowing Pittsburgh to get out to a 5-point lead. But this is a tough angle to go glass, Obi.
Look at this.
Yeah, you're playing pickup. We got to take that off the board. Check that up, because you cannot get that basket. No way he called bank on that.
So heading to the bench for the moment, Champagnie, after that kind of dangerous tumble there, getting back into the flow. A 17-12 lead here for the Pitt Panthers.
And he gets beat immediately on the backdoor cut there on the inbounds play by Anthony Walker. And that becomes the question of, is that the guy guarding the inbounder, giving up the middle too early, because that's an easy bucket. Normally you want to see, and not sure who that is guarding the inbounder right there, but they definitely don't take away the middle, which is one of the things that you start out with, playing biddy ball at the Y.
Count that basket on the goaltend. And Pitt's lead at 3. Champagnie lines up another one. You know, he's not off by that much. He did, air one out earlier, an air ball, but the last several shots have been very close to going down. On a tough drive, Miami quickly on the other end to cut it to 1.
And OLANIYI attacking the basket. That's one of the things with Pittsburgh. Without Terrell Brown in the game, they don't have much rim protection. Koulibaly's a different type of center for the Panthers, and you see Miami right now putting it in drive and trying to find their way to the rim as often as possible.
Champagnie really hunting the shot, takes the hit as well, and he'll be at the line.
You hear Jim Larinaga yelling at his team, you cannot leave him isolated. That means that you are not allowing one guy to guard Justin Champagnie. Too much respect for the first-team All-ACC performer. Coach L wants a double team on him every time he touches the basketball on the block.
The unmistakable voice of Coach L, Jim Larinaga. I mean, it reverberates all over the Coliseum, doesn't it?
It definitely does that when you consider, very few fans in the Greensboro Coliseum right now. Jim Larinaga is going to have the loudest voice, at least on that end of the floor. But he loves to see Isaiah Wong getting in rhythm offensively.
Oh, he sure does. Third-team All-ACC guard, knocking one down. He's pretty good from 3, 36%. And we're tied up 19-19. Miami playing some defense here. OLANIYI going after it. Makes a nifty pass for the stuff by Brooks.
And nice play. It started with Isaiah Wong's defensive effort at the top, getting the deflection. OLANIYI getting involved as well, and then Brooks with the finish. But it all started with Miami's defense, allowing them to get the easy bucket.
Elijah OLANIYI is wearing a different number on his jersey this year, a different jersey name. Abidoye, who is the maiden name of his late mom, Ruth, who passed away in 2017, a cancer victim. Very sweet gesture all season long. Slapped out of the sky by Walker. 21-19. Well, Wong has brought them alive for the Hurricanes.
And he's done just that, knocking down the 3 and then doing it defensively, leading to the loose basketball. And Nasir Brooks ends up with the finish. Coach L is loving it as his team regains a 2-point lead.
Do you taste that mesquite butter? And add all the fixings. Bacon, lettuce, grilled onions,
pickles.
With the barbecue sauce?
Sonic Mesquite Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
That's what I'm talking about.
For 175 years, New York Life has been helping people act on their love.
Okay.
So they can look back and say, we did good.
Corey, wasn't it interesting? The preseason first team All-ACC. Selection. Take a look at those guys. And now how it played out at the end of the season. Only Sam Hauser remained on that list. That did mean a number of guys really stepped up and had outstanding individual seasons, maybe to a higher level than anticipated.
I believe that was the case, and when you consider both, the most improved player in the league as Pittsburgh knocks down another 3, Matthew Hurt, as well as second in voting, I believe, in Justin Champagnie, both those guys joining the first team, and no one really expecting for these guys to have the same level, the level of performance that they had all year long, but becoming 2 special players in this ACC this season. And when you think about Matthew Hurt leading the league in scoring, Justin Champagnie second, and then Champagnie also leading the league in rebounding, earning a spot on that first team. But I don't think anyone was anticipating Carlik Jones, and definitely no one thinking Moses Wright would have been on the team at the beginning of the year. But congratulations to all these young men for having great seasons.
And what a tear Wright has been on. Not just him, his team. I mean, Georgia Tech may be the single most dangerous team in this tournament right now. I know Virginia is the #1 seed, FSU the #2 seed. Nobody wants to take on the Yellow Jackets right now, that's for sure.
You're absolutely right. And, when you look at down the line, what you could see, and you see Georgia Tech, who've won their last 6 games. Well, their loss before that, they lost to Clemson on a buzzer beater, and they also lost to Virginia twice this year. Josh Pastner, Moses Wright, ACC Player of the Year, Jose Alvarado, Defensive Player of the Year, have never beaten Virginia. That's the one team that they have not beaten during their tenure. So nothing they would like more than a shot now as the 4 seed, where they would have a chance to get the opportunity to play against Virginia again in the semifinal if they both surround and make it that far. And when you look at what we have coming up, the New York Light ACC tournament, a number of great matchups, Obi.
Quarterfinals there, you've got Virginia, Georgia Tech, and FSU. They will not play until then with the double byes. Of course, tomorrow you've got Syracuse, NC State. Clemson taking on the winner of this one. So Pitt catching fire here after a very cold start. They've made 4 out of 11 from 3, and they lead by 1. Miami with a sizable edge in the paint, but that's very much their game.
So Miami's made 4 of their last 5 field goals, and because of that, Jeff Capel opting to go with the zone defense. They've been struggling to guard Miami in their dribble penetration, but the problem with playing zone, often difficult to identify who to rebound. And now second chance points end up being the 3 for OLANIYI, knocking down the 3.
Senior, indeed, to make it 24-22. And, we're talking about as we came on the air just how delighted we are to be calling ACC tournament games. Nifty pass inside there by Champagnie as he gave it up, leading to the foul. Coulibaly will be headed to the line. We were talking with Coach K yesterday, prepping for Duke and BC coming up. And he was talking about being there at the Coliseum, where he has had incredible success over the years, and walking onto the court, coming down, walking down those steps onto the floor. And it really hit him, what a special thing it is to be back at this tournament. Obviously, he has unbelievable memories. He's won 65 games in this tournament, won the tournament 15 times. But I think part of that was just having had last year's ACC tournament barely played, and so much has been denied. The coaches, the players, all of college basketball this year in so many ways, even though they've played the season. So many games have been lost because of COVID-19. Success in Greensboro for Coach K, a whopping 28-10, and 8 of those titles right here.
And although his numbers won't compare to that, you also think about the success in Greensboro for Coach Elf. Jim Larinaga, 9-6 in Greensboro in ACC tournament games, 6-9 in other places, but won the title in 2013. So there are a number of coaches, including Jeff Capel, coming back to his home state of North Carolina. A number of coaches excited about being back in Greensboro, especially when the tournament was cut short a year ago once we got to the quarterfinal round.
Kelly slamming on the brakes, twisting, turning, and lays it in. Well, just to make that shot, let alone the basket, was a bit of a miracle. He got it to go.
And nice play by Odekale, and more importantly, not traveling with the basketball, getting to a point to where the defense cut him off, but yet keeping his poise and composure and able to finish off of an offensive rebound.
OLANIYI knocks that one down from the corner. And Miami's also starting to pick it up offensively, and they lead by 5 points here with under 5 minutes to go in the first half here in game number 1.
Well, the difference between the two teams thus far has been the turnovers. 7 turnovers for Pittsburgh, only 2 for Miami. Miami knocking down threes now as we see Justin Champagnie. That's the second time I've watched him chase a shot, not shooting the basketball with confidence from beyond the three-point arc. When you feel it going in, you don't go after your own rebound.
That'll be tipped out, but Miami will have it back. Miami coming in 8-16. 4-15 in the ACC. They pulled off a couple of upsets when the Canes beat top 20 Louisville at Coral Gables. They did that without Chris Lykes, who only played 2 games all season long for the Hurricanes. That was a giant loss. They also knocked off Purdue in December. So occasionally they have been a dangerous team. Hit on the run. Champagnie tried to catch it and lay it in. Could not finish that one off.
A missed opportunity by the Panthers on that possession, and a simple 2-on-1 you've got to convert on, especially when you're trying to find a way to get back into the game. Ends up being a 4-point swing as McGusty gets to the painted area and knocks down the 2, but it's 2 Pitt doesn't get and 2 more Miami does, increasing the lead to 7.
Well, Hurricanes playing pretty well here the last 5 or 6 minutes in particular to open up a 7-point lead. Savani on the drive and a whistle on the play. That'll go the other way. So 31-26. ACC Network Basketball is brought to you by Zaxby's. Hand-breaded chicken and fresh ingredients made to order only at Zaxby's.
New day, new choices. Choose Smile. Today, choose Smile that costs up to 60% less than braces. Go from this to this. Get started for free at SmileDirectClub.com.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day.
Objection! My credit card doesn't earn double miles on every purchase.
Overruled. With the Venture Card, it's every purchase. What's in your wallet?
Well, game number 1 of the ACC tournament here in Greensboro. Great to have you with us. Corey Alexander and Dave O'Brien. First of 3 we'll have for you today on the ACC Network. Here's a look at our game summary now. Wong with 7. Champagnie is cold, 3 out of 13. You look at Miami way out in front, fast break points, 8-0 over the Pitt Panthers.
Was the turnovers that have been the biggest issue. Points over turnovers are 9-2 in favor of Miami. You see those 8 fast break points. That's been the difference in this game. Both teams have made their fair share of three-pointers, but when you give the basketball away, it leads to easy buckets on the other end, as we see on that possession.
Odekale able to slam that one down for the Pitt Panthers and cut it to 3. You mentioned in late February when the defeats were really piling up for Pitt. They lost 2 of their best players who transferred within 24 hours of each other. First the junior point guard Xavier Johnson, and then the junior forward Adis Toney. That was 40% of their scoring, Corey.
Yes, it was. And, those 2 guys were roommates, Obi. And, one of the things we talked with Coach Capel about yesterday, he simply said, hey, I want to talk about the guys who are here in the program now. But I'll go back to an old adage my grandma told me a long time ago. You can't keep nobody that don't want to be kept, Obi. So, therefore, if you don't want to be a part of the program, move on. And, again, Pittsburgh will be better for it, as they have been here in this first round thus far, now making it a 2-point game.
Sabandi draining that one. Transfer out of Miami of Ohio, comes in at 6 points a game, but he can be explosive. 33-31.
But Sabandi already with 12 points here in the first half and making up for the production that we're normally used to seeing from Justin Champagnie. Champagnie struggling from the field thus far, but Sabandi definitely picking up the slack.
Got to get a shot in the air quickly. Brooks able to drain that one, or did he?
Well, the official's going to go over and check that out. Of course, made field goals. Going to be interesting to see if he got that out of his hand in time. It was definitely very close, and not a shot that Nasir Brooks will be taken off. And as you catch, and right there, basketball, ooh, that's close. That's about as close as you can get to whether it's out of his hands before you see the red light on the scoreboard.
Give it a look.
It looks like he got it out of his hand. It looks like it's out of his hand before the light comes on.
Yeah.
But that's as close as you can get.
If he did, it was a fingernail. Yeah.
Definitely by a fingernail, but I believe that will be a good basket as Brooks celebrates heading back down the other end of the floor.
Yep.
And again, not known for his jump shooting, but timely basket for the big fella.
So the officiating crew, Jamie Lucky, Mark Schnurr, A.J. Desai giving it a look.
That's good. That's good. You see the basketball out of his hand still with 1 second showing on the shot clock. Oh, wow, that's close. I believe it's too close, Obi, to overturn it and take that away. And I believe this great officiating crew we have will come away from there saying that that's a good basket.
So an official review of a basket late in the half that has put Miami at the moment on top 35-31. And they've counted the basket. Corey, you've not missed one all season long. I've got to give you your props. You have not missed one. Now, you're going to be humble about this, but you have been right 100% of the time.
Well, I will say I've been right 100% of the time of the ACC tournament thus far. We'll go that far. And, humility is not my strong suit, so well, I'll take it.
Which is, yeah. Dribble drive tight in the lane. Odekale has been very active offensively here down the stretch.
That's the second time we've seen Odekale get into the painted area, get stuck, but keep his pivot foot. And everyone running away from it, trying to guard the three-point shooters, he ends up with the size advantage and scoring the bucket for the second time.
So 2-point game. Coach Larinaga told us yesterday on the Zoom call that he thought this was going to be a real battle, that both teams would play good defense. Going to go the other way here. First round of the ACC tournament, Miami on top by 2.
And Odekale once again getting into the painted area. You see all the orange jerseys around them, but all of a sudden everyone is concerned about the shooters on the perimeter. So you leave Odekale with a size advantage over Isaiah Wong right under the basket. Odekale takes advantage of that for another bucket. And he and Sabandi are the guys who have been the leaders for the Panthers thus far, both in double figures with 12 and 11 points respectively. And these two guys in the starting lineup in replacement of Johnson and Aldis Toney, the two players you mentioned before transferring, and they've been special here thus far in the ACC tournament.
Oh, nice sweet jump shot there by McGusty with that shot clock winding down. And Miami 38-33 on Pitt here with about 45 seconds to go in the first half.
And after a cold start, we've seen some great shooting from both these teams early. And two coaches who really value defense. The offense has been at the forefront for both of them.
Way downtown, Sabandi.
15 now for Sabandi as he is enjoying his first trip to the ACC tournament. 3 for 4 from beyond the arc. Pittsburgh getting back into the zone, more of a Syracuse type zone where you see the back wings flared out, trying to force Miami to have to beat them from the outside, although McGusty did knock down a 3 on the last possession.
Wong will fire it up there, and sweet as you please, knock it down right before the horn. So that's the end of the first half, and Miami with 40.
Is getting their all-ACC performer Justin Champagnie going. 3 for 13 from the field thus far. Does have 7 rebounds, but he has not made a free throw in the last 2 games. That's one of the things that's been a concern of his head coach, Jeff Capel, when you're one of the best players in the league, but yet you don't get opportunities at the free throw line, and none thus far in this game either.
So game one very much up for grabs after the first 20 minutes. Miami with the ball and a 4-point lead to begin the second half. Had a couple of hot shooters in the opening half that we showed you. Wong is one of those guys as he handles the ball, gets it off to McGusty. And a rebound, a battle for that. And it's going to be off of Miami. OLANIYI is going to argue that point, but he had a really nice first half, by the way.
He really did. Knock down a couple of threes. You see both teams going after the loose ball. And, of course, OLANIYI trying to stay away from it as he's going out of bounds, but yet basketball rewarded to Pittsburgh, an opportunity for the Panthers to try to cut into this lead. And we mentioned earlier, they are a much better second half team, average 8.1 points more in the second half than they do in first halves this season. But we see a familiar face, and Odekale attacking the basket once again, using that size over Isaiah Wong, going to the left hand, trying to finish it off, but will get 2 free throws because of his effort.
He scuffles at the line, just 49%. Just getting the second half underway here in Greensboro. What will be a busy day for us. Corey and I will have all 3 of the games today and tonight, including Duke and Boston College right around the corner.
You look at those numbers from Pittsburgh, a plus 68 in second halves of games this season. Uh-oh. That was mean intentions involved in that drive.
Tough drive and a tough angle there, but dropped in by Odekale. And Pitt is within 1.
Odekale very aggressive attacking the basket in this game. 6 for 8 from the field for him. 14 points. And the backcourt of the Panthers now 29 points combined in this game. And they have really been a problem for Jim Larinaga's team, keeping them out of the paint, but also they've been able to succeed from beyond the line.
Wong trying to find that lane. Can't get that shot to go for Miami. Hurricanes looking for their 9th win of the season. I mean, just to grab 1 win in this tournament, that would be a very big deal for the Hurricanes. Swung to Champagnie. He's tied up. It's been tough going for him inside. He's not getting much at all.
It really has been. And, you know, we saw the possession in the first half where he was able to get a basket and got fouled. We heard Jim Larinaga basically saying, do not leave him isolated, meaning that he did not want for Justin Champagnie to be able to play one-on-one, and they've done a great job of limiting him from those opportunities.
So he'll go outside, and now he's missed a lot of shots today, but with 3 for 15.
But he's struggled.
Nothing falling for him.
Yeah, he's settled a bit for threes, and we've seen Justin Champagnie throughout this entire season attacking the basket, dunking on people, finishing at the rim. But already in this game, he's attempted 7 3-point field goals. And again, it's one thing if you're hot, but when you're not hot, those are opportunities for him to get it to the rim.
Cameron McGusty will take the foul. He'll be at the line.
But speaking of getting to the rim, Femi Odekale has done a great job getting to the rim, and a nice opportunity on the break. And then defensively, Terrell Brown, second in active block shots in the ACC, only behind Juwan Durham from Notre Dame, and that was a 172 to 170 battle coming into this game. So now Terrell Brown gets a little bit closer to Juwan Durham and overtaking the active leader in ACC blocks.
McGusty, good foul shooter, 80%. That puts Miami up by 3, 42 to 39. Pitt has rarely gone to the line today.
And Notorious, you probably already knew this, but I missed a block on Terrell Brown. So he has 2, so right now they're tied. Juwan Durham, who we'll see later this evening, will have an opportunity to add to his total. But right now, both these guys with 172 block shots in their career.
Yeah, and Terrell Brown doesn't play that much. You know, his shots blocked per minute is pretty extraordinary. High off the window, that won't go for Walker, but a whistle. And a foul here as we have 16:46 to go in the second half. Most block shots in school history. And Terrell Brown at 172 as he will step off for a moment. Charles Smith way out in front at 346.
My guy Fluid, Smitty, my former teammate with the San Antonio Spurs.
Another whistle here. 3 fouls, by the way, on Brown. That's the reason he came out. Walker will be headed. 6'9" sophomore out of Baltimore.
And once again, a simple underneath out of bounds play, and it's Justin Champagnie who gets beat on that possession. Will Jeffers needing to put more pressure on the inbound and not giving him a great line of sight. But Champagnie out of position once again. And Jeff Capel taking both Jeffers as well as Champagnie out of the game, giving up an easy opportunity on the underneath out of bounds play.
It was a very promising season at one point for Coach Capel and the Pitt Panthers. Really went sour fast, beginning with a 1-point loss at Wake Forest on January 23rd. And they've only won 2 games since then. So a victory in the ACC tournament would be equally big for them as it is for Miami. And a whistle off the ball here with 16:36 to go. Very interesting to me, Corey. You get 2 teams that really don't put a very high priority on the three-pointer necessarily. They don't make a lot of them. And yet a lot of what we've seen so far in this game has come down to the three-point line.
It has been that, but also the dribble penetration. Odekale continues to be aggressive, attacking the basket. And now he's up to 16 points on the afternoon and keeps Pitt in the game just by being aggressive and challenging anyone at the rim. Again, there's not much depth up front for Miami, so Brooks can't afford to get in foul trouble.
McGusty with the three-point miss, and a rebound coming out high to the Pitt Panthers, and here they come. And Odekale just feeling it from everywhere right now. The freshman from Brooklyn is the story of this game.
Well, we saw the freshman last year, Justin Champagnie, break out for 31 points, and now Odekale doing his best Justin Champagnie impersonation here in the first round of the ACC tournament.
Walker rolling inside, gets the feed, and he knows exactly what to do with that. So 46-44. You know, Femi Odekale came into the game obviously not afraid to fire it up. He's shown that all season long. He had 16 off the bench against Louisville, had 10 against Syracuse in the Dome, but this is a different story today.
It has. He's playing with a tremendous amount of aggression early, but at this point of the season, you no longer count freshmen as freshmen, but they are now sophomores because of their experience, and now you see Savannah getting back involved in the action. So 18 points for him, 19 for Odekale, as these guys have been the offense for the Panthers here this afternoon.
Those two guys were averaging 6 points a game each coming into this contest. Brooks, nice feed there for Wong, and he knows what to do with it.
And just a mistake on defensively there by Odekale, turning his head. Once you turn the wrong direction, Isaiah Wong doing a great job with the cut. And, of course, always love the finish.
Savannah going to drive that one. Great defense denying him. McGusty. And a nice tip save by Miami and by Wong. Got them a shot, but that won't go. Horton. Yes, he's starting to get into the flow here offensively.
Yeah, rare two-pointer for Horton, but yet when you leave a shooter, a guy that can knock down shots that wide open, he doesn't have a choice but to take that. Now 5 points for him. But the guards have been the story for Pittsburgh in this game, getting it done from the perimeter.
Pitt by 1. Miami coming right back, and forth we go here to the second half. This may be the case right down to the end this afternoon in game 1. Walker with 10 along with 5 rebounds for the Canes.
Pittsburgh finding his rhythm on the offensive end of the floor, but yet struggling to stop Miami. And right now it's going to be about which one of these teams is going to take the defensive side personally. But right now, offensively, both teams scoring at a high clip.
Well, you mentioned that Horton's game is the three-point shot. He is their most prolific three-point shooter. 37%. That's more like his game right there. And Pitt has the lead by 2. Tipped out by Pitt. Koulibaly deflected that one. Pittsburgh leading 52-50.
And Femi Odekale, 19 points, a career high, 8 of 10 from the field, is feeling himself here in Greensboro at the ACC tournament. Off the bounce, getting to the rim and finishing, using his size over top of the even bigger defenders, and also stepping back, knocking down the 3. He's having himself quite the afternoon.
Burger.
Butter.
Beautiful.
Bacon.
Barbecue.
Delightful.
Deliciousness.
That's not a word.
Sonic Mesquite Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
Bacon.
Bacon's already been said.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day.
Objection! My credit card doesn't earn double miles on every purchase.
Overruled. With the Venture Card, it's every purchase. What's in your wallet?
I invite you to check out the ACC Championship Hub for everything you need to know about the ACC tournaments, including exclusive Chalk Talks, highlights, game prizes, and much, much more from the ACC mobile app or ACCChampHub.com. Back inside Greensboro Coliseum, Dave O'Brien along with Corey Alexander coming to you from our homes. You will hear the great voices of Dan Schulman, Sean McDonough, and Jay Billis on this tournament as well. And a foul here, 52-50, Pitt in front. The guys are getting ready. They are prepping like mad at a socially acceptable distance.
And one of them is grouchy. One did not wave. One did.
Well, Dan's hungry is what he is.
That's why Dan is so excited. He wasn't waving at us. he was waving for his pizza.
Waving for pizza, man. Bring the pie. I'm hungry. You know, that homework it really exhausts you, and it makes you famished. So you've absolutely got to eat if you're going to do that kind of homework. But really looking forward to those two gentlemen and Sean McDonough as well coming to town. Be joined by Corey Alexander for some of the games. We're just all delighted to be working the ACC tournament again, and that's the truth.
Well, absolutely. And you think back to a year ago tomorrow, we had an opportunity to work together, and when the world started to go crazy and things were, all the question marks started flying into the arena as to whether we would continue playing. And after that Wednesday session, I can remember seeing Jay Billis getting ready to do his games on that Thursday morning. I was at the hotel watching Florida State walk through, talking to coaches, and nothing's been the same ever since, to say the least.
No, I remember being at dinner, in fact, with Jay and with Dan, and that was the night that it all started, to go right down the you-know-what, and nobody knew how deep it would go, but Jay was on the phone. A lot of people are on their phones getting information about other conference tournaments.
Okay,
and yeah, it was rough.
I'm a little concerned because why didn't I get an invitation to this dinner? If you're throwing that around, where was I when this dinner was at?
Positive you got your invitation. I know how socially busy you are. You had a lot going on there. I'm almost positive you turned us down. Boston College entering the building here at the Coliseum, getting ready to take on the Duke Blue Devils. That is our next game on the ACC Network.
New day, new choices. Choose Smile. Today, choose Smile that costs up to 60% less than braces. Go from this to this. Get started for free at SmileDirectClub.com.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day.
Objection! My credit card doesn't earn double miles on every purchase.
Overruled. With the Venture Card, it's every purchase. What's in your wallet?
Greensboro, North Carolina, the site of the ACC tournament in 2021. So delighted to say we are back and playing basketball still to come. We've got Boston College and Duke. That is the 4:30 game. Notre Dame and Wake Forest tonight at 7. And that'll take care of day number 1
The only thing that Femi Olakale has struggled with in this game is the free throws. Now 2 for 4 from the free throw line. And as you mentioned earlier, not a great free throw shooter. But he's done everything else perfect here tonight. 20 points for him thus far in this game.
Yeah, also not a big scorer coming into this one, but he certainly changed that around. Pitt started out 10 for 27 from the field. They're now 12 for their last 15. And swooping in at a sweet one there for Walker. The 6'9" sophomore from Baltimore with 2.
You know, Obi, we got to keep an eye out. We haven't seen much Justin Champagnie here in this second half. Came out about 3.5 minutes into the second after a defensive breakdown by he and both Will Jefferson and Jeff Capel's team finding a rhythm without Champagnie on the floor. And Coach Capel sticking with that over the past 6 minutes of the game.
Pitt by 1. Long distance, and that won't drop. Miami has been much better today from three-point territory than they typically are. They've struggled defensively against the three as well. Among the reasons you get to be 8-16 and you're playing in game number 1. Sabanti lost the handle. Miami with the save. Walker again with the kick out. Now back up top and around and out it goes. McGusty with the miss, but another whistle and a traveling violation.
But you got to like Walker's activity on the interior, attacking the basket, finding shooters, and then once again going after getting another possession, even though it's a turnover as we see Champagnie step back into the game. Jim Larrañaga has to be happy with the activity of his sophomore now playing in the second ACC tournament.
So Pitt by 1. Champagnie first team all ACC, 18 points, 11 rebounds a game, and a very, very cold performance so far today. Here's Horton. Long distance, but not there for him. Harrington finding the paint, trying to slice inside. Almost an impossible angle there. And Champagnie up for the block, but finally a whistle. So Gack hit on the way up, and he'll be at the line.
And coming into this game, of course, Pittsburgh is the team that's better on the offensive glass, second best in the ACC behind North Carolina. But Miami doing a great job of its own, picking up second chance opportunities.
Well, Thursday morning, this morning at 10 a.m. right here on ACC Network, exclusive coverage of the Clemson Pro Day from the indoor practice facility. All draft eligible Tigers get to showcase their skills. Of course, Trevor Lawrence had his Pro Day workout on February 12 and won't be participating.
Right now, 10 offensive rebounds for Miami in this game compared to 9 for Pittsburgh. And that's another one of the areas where Miami has been able to stick around in this game. And now with the rebound, defensive rebound opportunity for them to take a lead with 9 minutes remaining.
Long on the drive, shove there. 9:03 to go, and what has so far been a very quick moving second half. Usually the kiss of death right there.
But you see Isaiah Wong staying aggressive, attacking the basket. Not really anywhere to go, but the presence of mind to find his shooter in the corner. But the contact will be another foul on the Panthers on the interior.
Terrific block there on the baseline by the Pitt Panthers, and Terrell Brown, that's certainly his game. Now let's see if Champagnie starts to get going. It has been a tremendously cold day for him. Slicing inside, and a nice 2 points there by Olakale, who's just had a sensational day.
But at this point, Champagnie may be better as a decoy. When you consider that regardless as to how he shot the basketball, Jim Larrañaga is going to make sure they honor him from beyond the three-point arc. that allows Pittsburgh to space the floor, and it gives those driving lanes to Odekale, who's done a great job finding his way to the rim and not only getting there but finishing when he's gotten his opportunity.
Now Miami needs a hot hand. Gack with the catch and close for two. The 6'11" junior out of Sydney, Australia, who was actually born in Cairo. His family moved to Australia when he was 3 months old. Played his high school ball at Blair Academy in New Jersey.
And Dane Gack told Coach Larinaga he feels like a freshman. This is the first time he's been in the rotation and played this much basketball. When you look at what he's been able to do over this season, played in 22 of the 24 games, now 23 games, only played 15 combined games in his first 2 seasons.
Well, don't look now. Miami has jumped back in front. OLANIYI with the basket. He continues to quietly have a very, very nice game. And Miami by 1. Sabandi, shot clock down to 7. Trying to swing it inside and threw it away. It goes back over to the Hurricanes.
Elijah OLANIYI getting out in transition and the Hurricanes running. OLANIYI finishing. Not much contact.
So you have the ice cream with Oreos, crushed, and you have Oreos in the cookie dough.
Tastes so cookie-y.
Cookie-y.
I don't think you can ever have too much cookie. Sonic Oreo Big Scoop Cookie Dough Blast and Sundae.
Cookie-y.
Whoa, Susan.
Oh, I'm looking for coupon codes.
Well, Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them.
Save me some cheddar.
Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
A Pitt with the lead. And usually when that's the case, Justin Champagne's having a good day or night. That's certainly not been the case in this one. 3 for 16, just 7 points. Last time he scored was 8:36 in the first half.
And Justin Champagne has scored in double figures in every game that he's played this season. So when you consider still 7 minutes remaining, we would expect for him to get there. But 3 for 16 has not been what he's been about all season long. A very efficient year for Justin Champagne. In ACC play, he shoots 49.5% from the floor and 36.4% from the three-point line. So it's been a struggle offensively for Justin Champagne, but that's the difference when you're number 1 on the scouting report and compared to being number 3 or number 4, which he was last year when he dropped 31 in the opening round of the ACC tournament. It's been a struggle here for the first team All-ACC performer here today.
13 double-doubles this season. And a shove on the baseline. OLANIYI trying to take it to the hole. A 1-point lead for Miami. 58-57. 6:49 to go. That's 4 fouls on Brown. So he will take a step off.
And Obi, you mentioned earlier, we talked about Juwan Durham at Notre Dame as well as Terrell Brown, the 2 acting shot block leaders in the ACC. And you mentioned that Terrell Brown doesn't play nearly as many minutes, but you see the reason why. It's the fouls. That's been the area that's haunted him his entire career and why he hasn't really been able to be that guy for Pittsburgh. Part of the reason why Jeff Capel brings him off the bench, knowing that he has to be able to play him in spots to try to keep him out of foul trouble because he is such a great shot blocker. But Coulibaly defensively, outside of protecting the rim, has been a better fit for the Panthers this season.
Well, Miami trying to pull it off today with only 6 scholarship players. That's been that way for about 5 or 6 games now. On the drive, Sabandi, and draws the foul. Another guy who's had a very nice day, the senior out of Indianapolis. And a 3-point Miami advantage.
And one of the many fixtures missing from this year's ACC tournament, Mama Capel. Say hello to Mama Capel. I know she's at home watching right now. And, of course, with Jeff and Jason both being on the Pittsburgh bench, this is a place where she normally would be, but also coming to support Jeff as an assistant coach and Jason when he was doing television. So, Mama Kate normally a mainstay at the ACC tournament, sitting it out this season.
Miami by 2, coming up on 6 minutes to go here in this first round game. Tipping off the tournament this afternoon in Greensboro.
Pittsburgh back to the zone. McGusty, who's knocked down a 3 already, unable to put that one home. And now Pittsburgh with an opportunity to tie or regain a lead on this possession. Miami shot the ball very well from 3 from their standards in the first half. It didn't really allow Jeff Capel to play much zone. But going back to it and seeing if Miami's still in that same offensive rhythm, because they've had a tough time guarding them off the dribble.
Champagny, some contact, no whistle, and then threw it away. Just had a very tough day. McGusty will back it out. And out drive it into heavy traffic and tripped on the play with 5.5 minutes to go here.
But we see when Justin Champagny catches the basketball, Anthony Walker does a great job defensively, but he attracts so much attention from everyone in the orange jerseys, and Nasir Brooks doing a great job getting a hand on the basketball. That deflection becomes the 12th turnover for the Panthers, and those 12 turnovers have led to 16 points for Miami. That's been a big difference in this game. Miami only turning it over 4 times. Jim Larinaga's team handling the basketball extremely well, and one of the main reasons they hold a 3-point lead and trying to add to it at the free throw line.
McGusty, the senior out of Katy, Texas. And smooth at the line, giving Miami a little bit of breathing room here, 62-58. Champagny just very sloppy with the basketball as well, but somehow it works out because Sabandi is on target again.
Well, Sabandi and Olakali have been the guys who have really carried the load offensively. Both those guys in the 20s now, 21 points for Sabandi, 22 for Olakali. They have been the offense for the Panthers in this game. Justin Champagny, and it shows you how fragile confidence is. He's been confident all season long, but it's been a struggle today. In the last 2 possessions, just with the basketball alone, you see he's struggling with his confidence right now.
Pitt denying in the lane once again. That's been a key for them to hang around all day long. And once again in heavy traffic, Odokali, who's just been tremendous all day. 5 ties and 11 lead changes here this afternoon, and we have a timeout. We are tied 62-62. Odokali has been the story this afternoon. The Pitt Panthers have tied it.
Do you taste that mesquite butter? And add all the fixings. Bacon, lettuce, grilled onions,
Pickles.
with the barbecue sauce?
Sonic Mesquite Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
That's what I'm talking about.
For 175 years, New York Life has been helping people act on their love.
Okay.
So they can look back and say, we did good.
ACC Network Basketball is brought to you by New York Life, helping people act on their love for 175 years. Well, this one's coming right down to the stretch. Odokali and Sabandi have really been the stars today for the Pitt Panthers.
And both guys coming in averaging 5.6 points per game, and you can tell that they've been well above those averages. And great performances here in both of their first ACC tournament action.
OLANIYI getting inside for 2 to put Miami in front by a pair.
And that's the second time we've seen the old give and go for Miami that ends up being an easy basket. And Pittsburgh defenders just as simple as turning the wrong direction and not seeing their man and the ball, losing their man, giving up the cut, and also giving up the lead.
Odokali with an air ball there. 64-62, so a rare misfire for him this afternoon. And another break, 3:45 left here in Greensboro.
When we say crispy, juicy, tender, this is the juicy and tender. And this is the crispy. Introducing McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwiches. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Whoa, Susan.
Oh, I'm looking for coupon codes.
Well, Capital One Shopping instantly searches for available coupon codes and automatically applies them.
Save me some cheddar.
Capital One Shopping. It's kind of genius. What's in your wallet?
Game 2 coming up. Boston College stretching, getting ready. The Eagles about to take to the floor against the Duke Blue Devils, who are here, of course, as well. That's our second game coming up. Duke having not missed an NCAA tournament since 1995. And may very well have to win 5 consecutive games here at the ACC tournament through to the championship on Saturday to go back to the NCAA tournament. We'll see about that. But game 1 is the most important thing. Coach K was telling us yesterday, it's not like he sits around and thinks about how a tournament's going to play out. It's all about today's game. And then when that one is over, it's the next game. It's all you can think about in tournament play. Miami with a 2-point lead here, and driving inside with a foul as well. Oda Cali, who's having a spectacular game.
That's been the guy for the Panthers, and give Jeff Capel credit for going to him out of the timeout. The dribble handoff, he stumbles a bit, but still maintaining the basketball and going through the contact of Anthony Walker to add to a career-high tab. Well, Femi Odukale now with 26.
Big fight for the rebound as Brooks took it down. Some shoving after the play as well in a 64-64 game. Odukale upset that he missed the foul shot. Pittsburgh will have the ball here.
But it could turn out even better for the Panthers. Missing the free throw, not that you want to, but at the same time, now they have an opportunity to put 2 or even 3 on the board in a tie game and now try to find a way to come up with the lead.
Odukale the inbounder. Champagnie can't strike. Gets it back. He lays it in, and he gets it on the play.
And Justin Champagnie missed an easy layup. But yet, you're talking about the ACC's leading offensive rebounder gets his own miss back and comes up with second chance points. And an opportunity not only for him to increase the lead to 3, but to get to double figures where he's been every game this season.
Well, the basket, his first point since 8:36 left in the first half. Just been a bizarre game for him, a sensational game for Femi Odukale, the 6'5" freshman from New York. Pitt by 2. McGusty jumping into the paint, flips it up and makes the shot. And a foul too.
Call a tough bucket. Cam McGusty attacking the painted area, recognizing where the defenders are coming from, avoids Champagnie, goes high off the glass with a nice bit of English on the basketball as well, Obi. Jump stop. But the concentration to be able to finish it off, and now an opportunity for him at the free throw line to give the lead right back to the game.
Can't connect on that. It was English, Spanish, and French. Serious spin on that baby. But no foul shot. 66-66. Odukale swinging up top for Horton. He's their 3-point threat. Here comes Champagnie with another airmail. It's just been ugly for him today. There's no two ways about it, Corey.
His confidence. I mean, when you think about it, I mean, again, for a player as great as he is, and everyone can struggle with confidence, but you see he stepped into the shot in normal rhythm and just misses everything. He's battling with confidence right now, but Justin Champagnie has to recognize he can do things on the other end of the floor, defending and rebounding, that will help his team get to a win.
Boy, Wong was wide open. You can't get a better look than that. I think the story of this game is you have to have a contested shot in order to make it. If you're wide open, you're not going to hit it. A feed in the fast break, and it's Wong on the other end. Miami coming right back, and the Canes are up by 2.
But that's where Miami has been better than the Panthers in this game in transition, especially when they've gotten opportunities. Isaiah Wong gets the easy layup. Justin Champagnie lays out, great effort, but unable to get the basketball as OLANIYI finds Isaiah Wong and the lead for the Canes.
I think every other burger should have a disclaimer. I'm not made with butter. That's what they should say right on the top of it. I'm not made with butter.
They should. They need to warn people.
Sonic Mesquite Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
You gotta have butter.
New day, new choices. Choose Smile. Today, choose Smile that costs up to 60% less than braces. Go from this to this. Get started for free at SmileDirectClub.com.
Right after this game, nothing but net. Kelsey and the boys coming your way all day. Day number 1 of the ACC tournament. Brought to you by New York Life. This has turned into a pretty darn good game. 68-66 with about 2 minutes to go. And Pitt trying to tie or retake the lead.
And we featured 2 spectacular sophomores, all ACC performers, to start this game, but they have not been the stories. It's been the role players stepping up and taking over on both of these teams.
OLANIYI with a traveling violation after one of those rare misses by Odekale. And so Pitt will have it back with 1:52 left. Horton trying to maneuver. Pull up pop. Tried the window and couldn't get it. Miami on the run. Flipped up there by Walker and a foul. So 1:37 to go, 68-66. Miami looking to pick up their 9th win of the season. They went just 4-15 in the ACC. Pitt just 10-11, 6-10 in the ACC. And both had high hopes for really good seasons that just never happened for a variety of reasons. That's going to be shooting 2 here.
When you look at why coaches say you win or lose games, you look at 3 different areas: rebounding, you look at turnovers, and you look at free throws. And you look at this game right now, Miami is 15 of 20 from the free throw line, down 16 of 21. Pittsburgh is 3 for 11 from the line. And so when you look at that, now the 3-point lead for Miami, turnovers have been the story, as well as capitalizing at the free throw line with those opportunities. Pittsburgh has been much better from the field, as now they have another turnover, giving the basketball back to the Hurricanes, an opportunity to make this a 2-possession game.
Winner will take on the Clemson Tigers, the number 5 seed, tomorrow at 2:30. You can see that right here on the ACC network from Greensboro. So now Miami leading by 3 coming up on the 1-minute mark. Wong looking to penetrate. And a foul. And you heard somebody scream, "What?" That may well have been Coach Capel.
Possibly. Coach Capel, of course, concerned about the calls going against his team, but you do see Odekale reaching in on that possession and making contact with Isaiah Wong, attacking the basket.
And putting him at the line. Wong, good foul shooter, makes 80%. Had a sensational game in a victory over Louisville. 30 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists in that game. So certainly the ability to turn a ball game around all by himself. Pitt down by 4.
What he didn't do in that game was turn the basketball over. 0 turnovers for him in that one, and that's been a struggle for the Panthers. In crucial possessions, they've turned it over back-to-back times, and it's turned into points on the other end of the floor for the Hurricanes, as Brooks is able to finish through contact. An opportunity not only for the and one, but to make this a 3-possession game as we go down the stretch. Miami turning defense into offense, and throughout the track, you're going to have numbers. The nice find to Brooks. who makes it a 3-possession game.
And makes that a 3-point play. So 73-66. Huge turnovers for Pitt here down the stretch. Those were Brooks' first points of the half. OLANIYI underneath for Champagnie. A stuff and a timeout. 46.9 to go. And Pitt taking the timeout. Well, you're looking at turnovers and fast break points here in the last couple of minutes, Corey.
Yeah, Miami has 22 points off of 14 Pittsburgh turnovers, and it's been happening the entire game. You see the defensive effort by Isaiah Wong getting Miami out into transition to see if Brooks is able to finish it off. But turning defense into offense has been a specialty for the Hurricanes all afternoon long. And that's been the difference for them, and part of the reason why now they have a 5-point lead heading down the stretch, 47 seconds remaining in this game.
A 9-2 run for the Canes here down the stretch. Miami, the number 13 seed, Pitt number 12, the winner to take on the 5 seed Clemson tomorrow in the second round in Greensboro. And a long pass. OLANIYI inside, and the stuff. Boy, they are turning those big plays into maybe a winning day. 75-68.
And that aggressiveness by Coach Larinaga is great when it works. It can really hurt you when it does, and that's a bad foul by Isaiah Wong. And
OLANIYI shooting a 3.
Yeah, he's been great tonight, but shooting the 3, 2 for 3. But that's a shot that at that point of the game you have to let him take it. You want to contest, but you definitely don't want to foul. And give him an opportunity for not only 3 at the free throw line, but to allow Pittsburgh to set their defense without having to use a timeout.
So shooting 3 and keeping Pitt right in it. 27 points for this young man.
But now 3 for 7 at the free throw line. And when you look at the free throw numbers for the Panthers in this game, 4 for 13, those 9 points are more than enough to have made up the lead against Miami.
He makes 2 of 3, 5-point game, and pressure here for the Panthers. And Miami able to break it with Wong on the dribble. And a whistle and another foul here with 27.2 left. Wong, the wrong guy to go to the line if you're Pitt.
Well,
he is their number 1 foul shooter.
Yeah, and he wasn't going to give the basketball up. I mean, you know, unless it was someone wide open for a dunk ahead of him, he was going to keep the basketball in his hands. He is confident at the line, knows he's the guy for Pittsburgh for Miami that should be there, shooting 80% on the season, and goes and calmly knocks down 2 free throws to extend the lead to 7.
So time running out on the Pitt Panthers. They've got a spectacular effort from their freshmen with the ball now. Finally, they buckled down on OLANIYI, but a 7-point Miami lead. Sabandi with a 3-pointer with 13 seconds to go. So cut to 4 points with 13.1 left.
And crazier things have happened. No question about it. This game is far from over when you consider 4 points. There's a lot of time as Sabandi, off a nice move, able to elevate and knock down the 3, does come down on McGusty's feet, wanting the call on that possession, but great job by Jamie Luckey right on top of it, not giving in to the call. Incidental contact.
Nike Sabandi also a terrific day for the Panthers. Will it be enough? You look at the possession arrow, belongs to the Hurricanes. And Miami with 2 timeouts remaining. Pitt is now done in that category. They have none left. And Pitt has played a lot of close games. Played 21 games this season before today. 9 of them have been decided by 10 points or less. But they've lost a lot of those. Obviously a 10 and 11.